Hi guys. I think so. Hello. So we are going to get started. Um, all right. I'll give everybody a minute to get on board. I'll give you an update from the Thomas house. So things are going well. I've decided I cannot share an office with Sam Thomas. I love him, and people have said for 10 years, how do you work together? And it's because I have my office and he has his office. But here we have a partner desk. And so we sit across from each other. And Sam Thomas is so loud. He has dings and blings and talks to me all day. So it's kind of funny.
Hey,
It,
Chrissy, I'm on here. I just want to let you know that.
Where's the mute button? I think I need to mute you. Oh, and people are saying we are with you. We all have a lot of close family togetherness, but I love you, Sam, and we are doing a great job getting along. Um, and we have our college son home, which is really really neat to have him back here. He goes to school in Connecticut. Some of you know that, and so he is home doing online classes for his school in Connecticut where we pay out of state tuition. And it's real interesting because his math professor has set him up to do YouTube lectures with a UGA professor. Can you believe that? So, I mean, we just have to laugh at that. We are paying Connecticut tuition and he's taking UGA classes. So you got to laugh. That's ironic and funny. Um, and our high school seniors doing well. She's kind of wrapping her head around the fact that this is all happening and there's nothing we can do about it. And she's starting to look forward to college and making some virtual friends that she's going to be with next year, and picking out room decorations and just doing some things while she's finishing up her senior classes. So it's all going pretty well here. We're doing well. I talked to my nursing college roommate this morning. Today is her 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Mags. And she said, I'm going to have a great birthday. I'll just be watching you tell me how to not look 50. So sorry, Maggie. I hope you get a really nice big birthday when we all come out of this. So it's been a great week. I've had a chance to talk to a bunch of you guys. I really hope that you are doing well. It was nice to catch up. And I know we're all kind of getting stir crazy a little bit. So it's nice to have this as a diversion. And just going to talk tonight about some products and some things, some ways to do your regimen, and ingredients that need to be in your regimen just to give you the best that you can get for your skin. And this came to me, as I said, we've been thinking about things like, I'll think of something and think, oh, we kind of need to talk to everybody about these things, but we just have never had a platform before. And this idea actually came to me a while back. I was in the kitchen and I was cooking dinner alone, and a oil of Olay commercial came on, and it was saying, your skin will look beautiful and bright in this many weeks and your pores will be gone and blah blah blah. And it caught my attention, and I had to laugh because I thought, if this catches my attention, no wonder it can confuse people. When you hear this awesome, everything is going to be perfect, and then you come to me and I say, well, a miracle is not in a bottle, so we're going to do what we can. It makes sense that it would be a little bit confusing. So I first want to say that if you're using olive Olay or any of the other products that I don't mention tonight and you're happy with them, you're good. Don't worry. These are things that we sell, that we at About Face feel are great, but there's a lot of really good stuff out there. And for some people, olive Olay is the end all be all and does a great job for them. So don't be offended by what I'm saying. I'm just explaining the things that I've learned in my 25 years of studying skincare and doing this kind of thing. Let me talk a little bit about over the counter or things that you can buy from a home-based business or a department store or a grocery store or drugstore, something like that. Those are considered over the counter preparations. And for those, they are just sold by a manufacturer. They don't have to go through any official studies necessarily. They're not guided by anyone. Whereas the products that we sell at About Face and the ones that the dermatologists sell and the plastic surgeons and the physicians' offices, those are considered medical grade products. So in order to sell medical grade products, you have to have a delegating physician that is guiding the protocols and sort of overseeing that, which in our case is Dr. Thompson. So the difference is medical grade products do go past the surface of the skin. They go into the skin to create some changes, where over-the-counter products merely work on the surface of the skin. So that would be the difference there. So let's see. First of all, I want to start with talking about cleansers. Cleansers are probably the first thing that I see people sort of mess up with, because they have these preconceived notions, and a lot of them come from their teenage years when they were using they had some acne and some oil, and they like the feeling of getting that soapy foam going on their face and rinsing their face off. And sometimes as you're aging, that doesn't necessarily serve you well, even if you still have oily skin, because we find that if you use a foaming cleanser, it's going to strip more of the natural oils off of your face. So I have a couple here. Hold on, my little dog wants out and she's whining. Sorry about that. We aren't home studio. Okay, so we have the Gentle Cleanser, the About Face brand, and the Fortified Cleanser, which is also the About Face brand. And for those of you that didn't get to come in, we've upgraded the packaging. So we still have this, but we're going to be changing to this logo so you're not confused when you look on the website. So both are very popular cleansers. They're not the only two cleansers. We have a lot of great options. But with these two, it's interesting because some people really like the Gentle, but they should be using the Fortified. The Gentle Cleanser will foam up and it will wash the skin with a sudsy feel, whereas the Fortified is a cream base. So they're the same cleanser: vitamins A, C, E, CoQ10, green tea, awesome ingredients, but it's the base that they're set in that's different. One is foamy and thin, and the other is more lotiony. The more lotiony is going to actually not strip the oils off your skin. So that's actually better if you have mature skin, sensitive skin, in the dead of winter, things like that. Whereas if you're a really oily person and you like that foaming feeling, that's perfectly fine. In the summertime, more sensitive skin types can probably get away with that as well. Okay, and we do, as I said, we have a lot of options. We're going to talk about cleansers just a little bit more in a minute. Next, I want to talk about serums. And serums, there for a while, everybody would come in and say, I need a serum. And I'd say, well, what kind of a serum do you need? Oh, I just read everywhere that I need to use a serum. I want a serum. So what we had to do was back up and educate clients a little bit to say, yeah, you need the ingredients in the serum, but sometimes the ingredients you're looking for are in a cream formula. So that can be a little bit confusing, but serums are designed to be very thin, so the nice products that are in them will penetrate into the skin more easily. Of course, they are the first thing that you put on the skin typically, because you do layer your products by weight. So serum being very thin will absorb right in the skin. That's usually the first thing you put on. One of the rock star products, ingredients, and serums that we use these days is vitamin C. And I think I noticed that we had vitamin C day this week. I noticed on Instagram, and I thought that was funny. I didn't realize we had a national holiday for vitamin C, but go vitamin C. That's awesome. So we sell 3 formulas of vitamin C at About Face, and they all have a popular fan base. One is our 180 line. Again, it's the new packaging, and it's called See a Miracle. This stuff is awesome. It smells wonderful like citrus, and it is a natural citrus scent. It's a serum, as I said, so whenever you open it, you just put about 5 or 6 drops into the palm of your hand, and from there you smooth it on. You can either pat it in or just smooth it on face and neck. I always take my excess and put it on the backs of my hands. They take a beating over time. Another popular C in our practice is the Youth Essence. You guys have heard me talk about this. I love all of our lines. They are all wonderful. But the Derm Young Youth Essence is the thing that just changed my skin more than any product I've ever used in my almost 50 years. But it's a wonderful vitamin C. It's an organic vitamin C. So we keep this in the refrigerator until you purchase this, and then you can leave it out once you get it home. But same thing, it comes in a little dropper as well. Use about 5 or 6 drops of that on face and neck, and then the backs of your hands every day. And if you tend to be a drier skin person, the Revisions vitamin C is actually cream. So this is not a serum. But for my drier skin types, more mature skin types, they really like the emolliency of this vitamin C product. So it's a very popular sell. But vitamin C, we have found over the years, is so great because it does so many things that we never realized. It actually is going to repair sun damage. So previous sun damage that you have, vitamin C is actually going to work to repair that and plus protect you from getting further sun damage. It actually works to not let the skin overpigment in areas. And it's a collagen stimulator. So, you know, everything we do, we want to stimulate more collagen because we do lose that collagen over time. Another interesting thing about vitamin C is when you put it on your skin, you can't wipe it off. It doesn't just wash off with water. It absorbs into the skin so quickly that it is in the skin once you put it on. And thankfully, we have very few irritations and allergies with medical grade vitamin C. Now, I say that because vitamin C is a very unstable antioxidant, so you need to spend a little money there. If you're going to put your efforts into using vitamin C, you do need to buy a nice vitamin C. You'll see lotions and creams everywhere that claim to be vitamin C, but because of its instability, you really do want to purchase something medical grade. I would say if you could afford it, that's what I would do, is purchase a medical grade vitamin C. Next, I want to talk about exfoliants. So we all know about, or we probably have heard a little bit about alpha hydroxy and beta hydroxy, and you might understand and you might not understand all of that. So as we age, our natural skin exfoliation slows down, and where we used to have all these this bright skin when we were younger, suddenly it starts to get more dull and more waxy looking as we age. If you look at a picture of yourself when you were 20 and you look at a picture of yourself at 40, you'll see if you haven't done much, the skin starts to look a little bit more dull. And so we need to exfoliate that skin and get those dead skin cells off so the fresh skin cells shine. If you don't exfoliate, you'll notice that fine lines and creases are more noticeable, brown spots are more noticeable because some of that color is right up in the surface of the skin. And exfoliation also helps with collagen stimulation. So we do want to exfoliate. And even if you're very sensitive, we can usually find something that you can use to exfoliate and not be sensitive. I am the most rosacea prone person you'll ever meet. Glycolic acid actually acts as an anti-inflammatory. So sometimes that will actually help calm the inflammation. It increases blood flow to the skin. So I wanted to show you a few of our exfoliating options here. And whenever I was talking a while ago about the cleansers, sometimes it's easy to exfoliate with a cleanser and you've got 2 steps done at once. So in addition to the 2 cleansers I showed you, the papaya enzyme cleanser by Revisions is very popular because not only is it like a gel-based foaming cleanser, it also has a little enzyme, papaya enzyme in it, which is wonderful just to exfoliate the surface of the skin and make it a little bit brighter. And in the summertime, most of my mature skin types can use this particular cleanser. In the winter, it might be a little bit drying, but when we have more humidity in the air, we usually can get away with that one. It's very popular. Skin Medica makes a nice Ahabaha exfoliating cleanser. So I mentioned alpha hydroxy acids, and there are beta hydroxy acids. So alpha hydroxy acids would be your glycolic acid and lactic acid. So those of you that come in to see us at the office and do our non-surgical facelift, we do the lactic acid peels when we do our non-surgical facelift, and we use the lactic acid because it's a large molecule and it's not going to be so irritating and so inflaming on the skin. And so when we put that lactic acid on, it loosens up that dead skin cell layer, and then we can exfoliate that off, and your treatment works better. Your products will penetrate better, and you'll just have a better glow on the skin. Glycolic acid is a smaller molecule, so it will potentiate anything you put on after it. It kind of takes it by the hand and takes it deeper in the cell. So glycolic acid is probably one of the most popular acids that we find in our products. Um, Beta hydroxy acids are the acids that are able to get down into the pores and clean out the pore congestion. So whenever we see an acneic client, we want to make sure that they're using beta hydroxy acid. Salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid. A lot of times they combine alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acids together in products so that you get that overall perfect exfoliation. And we do have a few products that do that. The Skimedica Aha Baha cleanser, as I mentioned, you're cleansing and you're exfoliating at the same time, and you're exfoliating with 2 different exfoliants that are going to give you a nice thorough cleanse. So that's always nice to do. You can even use these cleansers with exfoliants like little masks. You can cleanse, you can put it on, leave it on in a nice layer for 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then work it in and wash and rinse it off. Water neutralizes these acids, and so when you rinse your face, the acids come off. Also, our #clear products. Now this is, I talked the other night about our portable peel pads, which are glycolic acid peel pads. These are 20% glycolic acid. They're wonderful to use once a week for exfoliation, like a little chemical peel at home. The #clear is also great, especially if you have clogged pores. Now this is only 2% glycolic acid and 2% salicylic acid. So it's a little bit lighter weight, but it's wonderful for cleaning the skin, cleaning out the pores. These are the same kind of thing. There's 60 pads in them, and you just rub a pad over dry skin first before you use your serums or any of the other things I'm going to talk about. And then I talked the other night a little bit about the skin polish. The other way to exfoliate the skin is mechanically. So we're talking about chemical exfoliation with alpha hydroxy and beta hydroxy exfoliants, enzymes like papaya, things like that. But when we use things like skin polish, we're combining 2 different ways of exfoliating. We're using chemical with glycolic acid, and we're using mechanical with those little round cellulose beads. So when you put this on the skin, and we actually use this in some of the treatments at the office, you'll recognize it. It will exfoliate with the chemical, but it also has that little bit of mechanical action to get that dead skin cell layer off a little bit more easily. So that is some good options that we have for exfoliating. Next, I want to talk about retinol and retin-A and retinol. So I have a lot of people, kind of like serums. Everybody comes in and says, I have to use a retin-A. I have been told I have to use a retin-A. It eats my skin up, but I'm supposed to use a retin-A. And that's not necessarily true for everyone, because true retin-A, which is a prescription medication, or the generic, which is called tretinoin, are very aggressive. They come in different strengths, so maybe not as aggressive on the 0.025 scale. Acneic clients, younger clients, they typically will put on a 0.1 gel to help them clear the acne. But whenever you're just working for anti-aging, if you can tolerate retin-A, it's wonderful. Retinol is actually a little lighter version of retin-A that the skin has to convert into that usable retinoid in the skin. So those are the types of things that we sell at About Face. And I actually prefer those because most people that are looking for anti-aging need the other ingredients that come in these retinol preparations that we sell. So I wanted to show you a couple of options that I have. So one is our crinkle cream, and crinkle cream is our 180 line. I like this. I'm actually able to use this, and with my rosacea, I'm really not able to use a lot of the retinol preparations. But the crinkle cream, just like the other 180 line products I've told you about, it is based in a nice antioxidant-rich base. So it has vitamins C, E, CoQ10, green tea polyphenol, but it also has a 0.05% retinol. So when I use this, I'm able to put it on my skin and it's not going to go in so quickly like a retin-A would go in. It has a little bit gentler absorption and it's going to be a little bit more gentle on my skin. So I get that exfoliation without getting that irritation. If you use true retin-A and you're sensitive to it, which many people are, you go through about 4 to 6 weeks of red and scaling and dry, and so dry you get oily, and it's really difficult on the skin. So with retinol, you typically don't go through that. And if you do, it's not to the extent and it's not as long as retin-A. So the crinkle cream is a great option. It has a really cool little twisty lid. Retin-A can't be exposed to light. So we use this product in the evening only. The other nice retinol product that is very popular for us is the Revision's Retinol Complete. Now, Retinol Complete is a 0.5% retinol complex, but they also incorporated something, and I have to look at the word because it's so hard to say, bakuchiol. So bakuchiol is nature's retin-A, which is so interesting. It is plant-based, but it's almost like retin-A in a plant form without irritation. So they find that it does the same things that all retinols do. They're going to exfoliate the skin. They're going to smooth fine lines and creases, help with discolorations, and build collagen in the skin. But this bakuchiol, whenever they put that in with this retinol complete, it will give you double whammy of the retin-A effects, but you have 50% less irritation. So it's a very nice ingredient. They also have put that ingredient in the DEJ night cream. That's very popular with you guys too. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a second. But that's 2 products that they're actually incorporating that ingredient in now. So I wanted to say, if you can't tolerate retinols, which many people just can't, or they don't want to be so careful with the sun like you really have to be if you're using a retinol product. There are some other things you can do that are going to mimic the effects of those retinol products. One is growth factor. And probably the most popular growth factor out there is the TNS recovery complex. This is a lab-created human tissue growth factor that will help stimulate collagen in the skin. So that is very popular. And as a side note, I need to mention Skin Medica products that we talk about tonight. When you go on our website, and I think Sam is putting these links out as I'm talking, but whenever you go to our site, it'll say shop now at the top. And if you shop now, you'll see all the products, but you'll also see shop Skin Medica products because they're doing a special 30% discount for you guys. So if you want any Skin Medica products, it's a good time. They've started offering 30% off for you. So that is a great growth factor option. And if you wanted to do retin-A and growth factor, great. That's double great. Another great option to stimulate collagen is using peptides. Peptides are a huge buzzword, and it's almost annoying to hear it sometimes because to you, it's going to sound like a peptide is a peptide. And this is going to go back to the same thing that I said about vitamin C. If you're going to buy a peptide cream, make sure that you're getting a high quality peptide cream because you can be completely ripped off with something that looks like it's nice. It can be pretty expensive and it's not going to do much. My first experience with using my favorite peptide cream, which is this DEJ cream by Revisions, and also I mentioned the DEJ Night is their new formula. I have a client who is just beautiful. She's been my client since I started the business, and it's been a couple of years now. She was sitting in the office, and I walked by, and I knew she wasn't seeing anybody but us, and she hadn't done anything different. So I said, "My gosh, you look amazing. What have you done?" And she said, "I started using the DEJ face cream and I can't believe the difference." So I started using it, of course, and I couldn't believe the difference. I really, really love the way that it makes my skin look because I'm not really able to carry on with the retinols as much as I would like to. I have relied on peptides to do the work that a lot of people use the retinols for. To stimulate my skin. So when you put a peptide complex on the skin, it's going to make the skin do what it needs to do to repair itself, stimulate more collagen, produce more hyaluronic acid, do the things that it's going to take for that skin barrier to be strong and healthy. So I really, really like that DEJ face cream. The DEJ Night is interesting. They did put bakuchiol in there, and it has a 0.25% retinol in it. So I'm able to use it because it's a little bit less retinol. Mary Jackson, if you're Mary Jackson's client, I'm pretty sure you're using this because Mary Jackson sells this like it's water. She is so married to this product. So those peptides are awesome for keeping the skin renewing itself. And if you wanted to combine, if you wanted to alternate and use a growth factor and a peptide and a retinol, you can do that. I don't want you to waste your money and buy all these things up. So if you need help with a regimen to structure all that, then we can help you do that. But they're all wonderful for keeping the skin looking young. It's all about keeping the collagen strong and keeping the skin smooth and uniform in color. Another peptide product I wanted to mention is our Ultra Serum. It is a very nice peptide product that's very moisturizing. So I like to use this in my moisturizer sometimes, especially if I'm feeling real dry or irritated. I'll just put a little drop in my moisturizer, or you can put it on the skin by itself. Now, I mentioned the other night the ASAP system, and it's a little system that you can take that little vial and screw the top off and actually put a few drops of your serum in there and microneedle it into the skin. It just goes straight into the skin to deposit that solution that's inside. So that is a way to get your peptides to penetrate just a little bit deeper. And if you missed that, you could see the webinar from last Wednesday night when we talked all about the ASCP and how to use that. But that's another awesome peptide complex from our About Face brand. Alrighty, and so I want to move on and talk about brown spots. We do a lot of work with brown spots, and this is the time of year that people start noticing them, and it's kind of the time of year we can't do as much about them because it's starting to be summertime. So, you know, if you have any tan on your skin, we're not able to use the lasers that we use for sunspots and brown spots, things like that. And if you can't do chemical peels, you know, if you want to be outside, or you have to be very careful. So it's not a popular time of year to do those kinds of things, but you can do some work at home to correct those brown spots and keep them from getting worse. So a couple of things that we use for that, hydroquinone is probably the #1 product that you see being used for brown spots. And let me back up for a second. There are 2 kinds of brown on the face, and we need to make sure that you understand what you have, because I don't want you to get yourself in trouble with it. Brown spots are the brown spots that you see that are sort of uneven and kind of round. You want to make sure that you see a dermatologist every year and get a skin check. That's very important, because that brown spot may be your only indication that you have a melanoma on your skin. Now, 99% of the brown spots you have on your face and your arms and legs aren't going to be melanomas, but we never want to get rid of the telltale sign that something's growing beneath there and start working on lightening that up. So #1, I'd like for you to get a skin check and make sure you're safe before you start doing lasers and chemical peels and things like that. #2, melasma is different from brown spots or liver spots or age spots or hyperpigmentation. All those things I just mentioned are just like the little, I got a ton of them I can show you, but just like the little brown patches on the skin, typically right here, because when we drive, we get a lot of sun right here over time. So most people notice they have more wrinkles and more brown spots on that left side of their face. Melasma is a hormonally driven brown spot or brown splash. So you may have noticed, maybe you've seen somebody go on birth control pills or come off birth control pills and they get sort of some brown here, maybe on their chin. I have it actually, my entire jawline. I have 2 circles right here. It stays under control with the products I use and doing some light treatment and stuff at work. But you have to be careful, because melasma is aggravated by not only the sun, it's aggravated by heat rays. So a couple of times a year, I'll have clients come in and they have gone to see someone who did a laser on them. And because it's a heat-based device, it makes that melasma flare. So anytime we talk about brown spots and brown patches, I always like to mention that, just to try to save you from going to someone that doesn't understand the difference with how to treat melasma versus brown spots. Just make sure that you know what you're getting into with that. Melasma can be treated, it's just treated differently then we treat those brown spots. So back to the products, our Even It Out pads are made with a product called hydroquinone. So hydroquinone is an ingredient that actually suppresses melanin under the skin. So the cells produce melanin, and they'll produce an excess of melanin if the skin's been damaged, and you're going to have a brown spot and shoot it up to the surface. But the hydroquinone will stop that from coming out on the surface of the skin. Same thing with melasma. You can use the hydroquinone there. These are little pads that we actually mix up in the office, and we make them to a prescription dose. Now, you can buy hydroquinone in the store, but you're going to get a 2% hydroquinone, which is not a prescription grade. You might see a little difference, but you're not going to see a lot of change with that. Whenever you come to see us, we'll prescribe, or not prescribe, we actually mix for you a 4% or a 6% hydroquinone based on our protocol and what we see on your skin. And you just take the little pad out every night. This is our display, so these are not wet, but these are what the little pads look like. We mix them up when you purchase them so they stay fresh. Just a little pad, and you just take it and rub it over the areas where you're having problems. You can kind of go back over the little brown spots before you throw the little pad away. There's 60 in there. So those are very popular. Now, we don't want to leave you on this product year round because there's some other issues that can come up if you use them consistently. You can get some color issues and some other irritation and things that we don't want to see. So we always like to recommend you use maybe 1 tub of these, and then we're going to switch you on to something else to maintain. Some of the other ingredients we use to maintain, and maybe we actually use instead of hydroquinone if we feel that you might be a little irritated from hydroquinone, is kojic acid. So kojic acid is actually made from a mushroom. It's a Japanese derivative. It's a mushroom they use somehow to make sake, I heard. But the Phyto Plus by SkinCeuticals is an awesome pigment gel. So very mild, very natural. It's a serum dispenser, just like I showed you a while ago. You dispense a few drops in your hand and you just put it over your face and your neck or wherever you're seeing the brown spots, back of hands. You can even use it with the little ASAP device to penetrate just a little bit deeper. So that's an awesome product. And also wanted to mention the Skin Medica Litera. Litera is a big boy on the market because this is the first time that they figured out how to suppress that melanin on a cellular level. Hydroquinone, as I said, the cells are going to shoot up that pigment, but it's going to stop it before it comes through the surface of the skin, where Litera will stop that pigment from ever leaving the cell. So it's great to use these two in combination. You use the hydroquinone to suppress that melanin, you use this to stop that excessive melanin production on a more cellular level. So those are the kinds of things that we use product-wise, and the kinds of things you can go ahead and start using this time of year, even if you don't want to, even if you can't do chemical peels or lasers of any kind, especially when we're locked up at home, right? We can start working on our brown spots and making our skin look pretty. And next, I need to talk about moisturizers. I cannot believe how many of y'all don't use a moisturizer. Everybody needs a moisturizer. People will come in, I'll say, okay, tell me what you do in the morning, and then tell me what you do in the evening. And they'll say, okay, I wash my face, and then I put on my Retin-A. Okay, and no, that's it. What about a moisturizer? Oh, Retin-A is my moisturizer. No, it's not. And nor is your serum, nor is anything else that I've talked about tonight a moisturizer. Even if you're acneic and even if you're oily, you need a moisturizer. So some of you guys may remember the other night I had a question from a viewer saying that she had oily, dry skin. And that is something that we come into a lot. Oily, dry skin comes about because you're using things that dry your skin out and your skin's trying to catch up and it produces more oil. So that is one person that would need a moisturizer. And then you have mature skin that's just naturally more dry, and that person needs a moisturizer. But if you think about it this way, if you're spending money to buy your nice serum and your retinol or your peptide or your growth factor, and you're working on your brown spots, and then you just go to bed, all of that's going to just evaporate off the surface of the skin. Vitamin C goes into the skin. I did say that. You're right. But all of the other products are just going to evaporate off the surface of the skin if you don't seal them in with a moisturizer. So I just want to show you a couple of things. to show you we've got something for everybody. We have a ton of moisturizers and some really good options that we could help personalize for you. But just generally speaking, these are a couple of the 180 products. And those of you that know us well, the age prevention cream now looks like this in our pretty new packaging. We were so excited to show you guys, but we had to take a break. So
Hey,
the age
Chrissy,
prevention, yeah.
someone wants to know if they can use their sunscreen as a moisturizer.
In the morning, you can, as long as it is a moisturizing sunscreen. And I'm going to talk about sunscreens next. But yeah, you can do that. That's fine. The daytime, don't sleep in sunscreen. We have that happen sometimes too. And that's not a good idea. In daytime, that's fine. So age prevention moisturizer, it has hyaluronic acid and it has vitamins ACE, CoQ10, and green tea polyphenol. But it also has a real lightweight occlusive that's going to hold that on the surface of the skin so everything doesn't evaporate off the surface. A lot of you love the Dream Cream because it has a richer base. So again, just like the cleanser, these are the same products. It's just the base in which they're mixed up. This one is very light, and this one is going to feel like a little bit heavier moisturizer. Very nice. So those are two great options for moisturizers. Now, in the day that we're going to have to all start wearing masks for a while, at least for a little while, I'm not excited about this because, as you guys know, I used to be an operating room nurse, and I have rosacea-prone, irritated Irish skin. So I don't do well with masks. They irritate me. They dry my skin out. It was not my prettiest time whenever I was an Eggleston OR nurse. So we had, Sam and I went to a show and brought in the mineral air makeup a lot of you guys are using, and we're going to talk about that here in maybe next week. But while we were there, they were developing a moisturizer for the mineral air makeup that I just fell in love with. It's hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, vitamin B, but it's very lightweight, something you can stick in your purse to freshen up. However, in this day of wearing masks, it has become my go-to. It goes everywhere with me. So this is the Mineral Air Renewal Serum. This is the actual serum. This is the device. Okay, so whenever you get this, you take your top off. It's got just a little clip here that you open, and you'll put your renewal serum in there. Just a few drops into that reservoir. Just close it. You put your cap back on, and you're ready to go. Throw it in your purse. The way you use this is you open, and I'm going to put it in front of my black shirt so you can see it's an atomizing mister of hyaluronic acid, vitamin B, and vitamin C. So this, every time I have to go into a store or go somewhere that I need to wear the mask, when I take the mask off, I get this out and I'm hydrating. I'm not getting that dry skin or that irritated skin. This is a really nice buffer. I like it on my lips. It gives my lips some nice vitamins and moisture. I like it on my neck. It's great for your hands if you're out and your hands are feeling dry because we're washing them so much. This little guy has been a lifesaver. I'm shocked at how much I'm using this. Had no idea when I bought this, 2 months ago, that this was going to become my go-to. But this little guy is awesome. So whenever you buy the device, you also get the serum that you continue to refill, and it lasts forever. I just put a little more in there, but I've never even refilled it. I've been using it now for several weeks. It is charged by a USB port. So it has a little place to charge on the bottom. What I do is whenever I use my mineral makeup, and I know some of you don't know what I'm talking about, but we will talk about that maybe next week. I say maybe, but I'm planning on getting that together for next week. But I just charge that and this at the same time in the evening on my bathroom counter. And then whenever I put my makeup on, I just throw this in my bag and I'm ready to go. This has been a lifesaver though. Especially if you're wearing fiberglass masks. I know some of us are wearing the fabric, but if you have the hospital mask, those can be really irritating. The fabric being against your face all the time, your face isn't used to that. So it's going to go through some changes. So just be prepared for that, even if you're taking some of your moisturizer you use now and just applying it. But we've got to be really careful with hand washing and all of that. So it has never been a better time to get your mineral renewal serum kit. All right. Lastly, I want to talk about sunscreens. And that was a really good question. Could you wear your sunscreen as a moisturizer? And yes, especially if you're using an about face sunscreen, because all of our sunscreens are moisturizers that most of them are. The ones I'm going to talk about are. Now, some people come in and say, well, I don't need a sunscreen because my makeup has sunscreen in it. Well, if you are wearing a makeup that has a sunscreen in it, you're going to have to wear 11 times more makeup than you're used to if you're using a powder. And you're going to have to use 7 times more liquid if you're using a liquid makeup to make it be the sunscreen on the bottle. So if it says it has an SPF 15, you're going to go out with about this much makeup on to try to get that SPF 15. So what I want you to do is just pretend like your makeup SPF is just gravy, just another little extra layer, because it's not doing enough to protect you from getting those brown spots, aggravating that melasma, getting fine lines and creases, and all those things that we're using all this product and all those treatments to try to get rid of. So if there is light in the sky, there is UV radiation. So even if it's rainy, snowing, whatever, even if you're sitting in the house, honestly, because you're sitting by windows and you're walking out to the mailbox. So you really need to get in the habit of just putting some sunscreen on every single day. Brush your teeth. If you're not going to put your makeup on, it's okay, but put sunscreen on every single day. So some really popular options at the office: Revision sells IntelliShade. Now, it's called IntelliShade because it intelligently shades to your skin color. Now, honestly, if you're a much darker skin type, it's probably going to be too light for you. And if you are a Princess Pearl White skin type, it might be dark for you. I don't know. It's more forgiving on the lighter end. I would say maybe darker skin types might have an issue with it, but we have samples that you guys are welcome to try. IntelliShade comes in 3 different flavors. The original is a nice moisturizer. So when you think about the IntelliShade products, you got to think this is your BB cream. This is your all-in-one. It has an anti-aging complex to it. It's a moisturizer. It's your great sunscreen, is SPF 45, and it's also tinted, so it's your makeup. I don't have my glasses on, so I was trying to make sure I was right. It's tinted, so this is like your all-in-one in the morning. You get up, you put on, you rinse your face with water. I didn't say that, but I really don't like for you guys to use cleansers in the morning unless you're an extremely oily person when you wake up in the morning. Sometimes whenever you wash your face twice a day, it will dry it out a little bit more. So if you have that tendency to be real tight and dry in the morning, try just washing with water. So when you get up in the morning, you rinse your face with water, you put on your vitamin C serum, and then you put on your IntelliShade, you're ready to go. The IntelliShade comes in this original formula. It comes in a matte formula. If you're very oily, you might like that. Most people like the original a little bit better. And they also have a True Physical, which has no other ingredients. It's just a True Physical sunblock. So all 3 of those are very popular. Mary Jackson says this is her favorite makeup. This is her fancy makeup. Like Mary does her eyes on a daily basis, but if she's going out fancy, she puts on her IntelliShade, which is so cute. Love you, Mary Jackson. I miss you. I miss all of you guys. I think some of you are on here tonight. The Ulta MD, this one is called the Elements, UV Elements. Ulta boxes all look the same. And one time I complained, and the rep said, well, they do that so they can keep the prices low. So I have not complained again. But all the Ulta boxes look like this. And so we have to kind of help you figure out which one you want. But this is the one that I actually wear. This is my favorite under my makeup. It's a nice hyaluronic acid-based moisturizer with a nice tint in it. And it's SPF 44. So both of these are very popular, the IntelliShade and the Ulta. Now, if you have melasma, you need to be careful with not only those UV rays, you need to be careful with the infrared rays, the heat rays. So you need a sunscreen that's going to specifically address those heat rays in the warmer months. Skimedica makes it's called Total Defense and Repair. So it has some ingredients that are going to actually repair that melasma and sun damage, but it also has infrared protection as well as UV protection. All of these sunscreens are broad spectrum UVA, UVB. But the Skin Medica product is wonderful if you have melasma. I highly recommend that. And if you're using any of these brown spot lighteners that we were talking about, you really need to diligently use sunscreen, or you're throwing your money away on all of those. So I do recommend everybody needs a sunscreen every day. There's some things that you can't go without. It's very important. Okay, so let me just look at my notes here. I think that is everything that I had to say tonight. So I know we threw a lot of information out there, and this will be recorded so you can go back and watch it if there's anything that you missed that you want to go back and listen to. We are extending the 15% off sale for you guys. So many people got distracted with what happened with COVID-19 and didn't get a chance to purchase. And we just want to do what we can to help out. So we are extending the spring sale for you guys, and you can go on our website to shop. It's aboutfaceskin.com. Now, if you would like an online consultation with me, a virtual consultation, I'm happy to do that. There's no charge for that. I have some time to fill in right now, so I'm doing that. I'm actually seeing some people on a daily basis now to go over skin regimens and make plans for what we could do when we reopen, and kind of get their product straightened out if they're trying to change for the seasons. People ask me that, do I need to change because it's now summertime? If your skin's happy, you're good. You don't necessarily have to change. Your skin will be what guides that for us. But if you would like a consultation, you can go on the website, and we have a place there where you can request a consultation, or you can email me, or some of you have my number, text me, Facebook me, whatever. I'm happy to do that for you. So let's see. Here's a question. Okay, in the morning, I wash with water and apply vitamin C and then Elta sunscreen. Is this the correct order? I've been washing with gentle cleanser, thinking the vitamin C won't soak in if I use cleanser. No, it's going to soak in. The cleanser won't inhibit the vitamin C from soaking in. But what I'm worried about with using a cleanser in the morning is that you're going to make your skin drier than it needs to be. It's not going to hurt anything other than it might make your skin be a little bit dry to use a cleanser in the morning. So I have found, since I've started asking people, just wash with water in the morning and then start with your serum, you're perfectly fine. People do a little bit better with that. Kathy Arisman says she misses us. I miss you, Kathy. I miss all of you girls at About Face. This has been hard not seeing you guys. You're like family, and suddenly we're all not together. Another question, what do you recommend to take off your makeup? I love to use the Fortify cleanser. The cream-based cleanser is the one I use. You can use the gentle cleanser, but the trick to using these cleansers to take your makeup off is a lot of people don't wash long enough. They take it, they and rinse it off, and they're done. And it's just like washing your hands. You have to wash your face and sing happy birthday twice. So you have to really work it into the skin. We like Clarisonic brush. We used to sell the Clarisonic. We don't sell it at About Face anymore, but the Clarisonic brush is an awesome device to take off makeup. Fingertips are an awesome device to take off makeup. Just really work it in, work it around your nose, work it onto your nose. When people complain about pores, you'll notice that they're not washing. Sometimes I'll say, well, come over here and just wash your face for me and let me see how you do it. And oftentimes it's just that we're not washing thoroughly enough, and we're not, working that lather around enough. I have another question. The mineral air you can use that over makeup. Yes, you can. It's designed to use under. It can be your moisturizer. I think it might be a little bit lightweight for most of us for just the only moisturizer we use, but it is wonderful to touch up your makeup. You know how if you wear makeup all day, you'll notice that it kind of looks like it's getting a little tired. It's good for, I'll say, normal makeup, and I love it on top of my airbrush, the mineral air makeup. It is awesome. It'll just make it glow all over again. Let's see. What about eye makeup to take it off at night? Well, CoverGirl needs to send me a big thank you. My favorite eye makeup remover, and I've tried everything. I've tried things in the professional market, and I really just haven't found anything that doesn't make this awful film in my eyes that all night long I'm trying to see. So I use CoverGirl Clean. And I just take that on my fingertip. I rub my lashes to get it off. I use waterproof mascara. Sona Martinez is pulling her hair out right now, but I like waterproof mascara. So I have to use an eye makeup remover to get that off. And the CoverGirl Clean seems to do really well with that. And it does well with the lipstick stains. People have enjoyed it for the lipstick stains as well. And so I take that off with my finger, and then I just take a cotton swab or a soft cloth and wipe it off. And then I do my happy birthday twice with my face cleaning. All right. It looks like Sam's putting all of the links on here for you guys. Even the CoverGirl. Thank you, Sam. You can order a lot. It's hard to find sometimes in the store now. It's probably because
I know how to please my lady, so
that's right. Thank you, Sam.
yeah.
We appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
Ellen and I use that CoverGirl Clean all the time. All right. Anybody have any more questions? Oh, Mary Jackson, missed my about face peeps.
Chrissy, I think you got one on, if you open up the Q&A section down at the bottom, you've got 2 people down there that are wanting some questions answered.
Okay, let me see. In the morning, I'll wash with water and apply.
You answered that one already.
I did answer that one. Okay, the next one. What if I struggle with redness and splotchiness instead of brown spots? That's an awesome question. Redness and splotchiness, you need to use more of the growth factor and peptide ideas that I talked about, because those will help calm that inflammation. You can use glycolic acids, but you probably need to do a consultation with me and let me talk with you about where that redness and blotchiness is coming from, whether it's a rosacea reaction or just sensitive skin, and we can design something for you, because I hate to just throw something out for you and get you in a mess, but we can calm that down as well. We just need to use some calming things. Let's see. Should I use a toner every day after cleansing? Kimberly, that is an awesome question I should have addressed. There are toners that don't contain alcohol. A lot of people use toners because they think that their cleanser is not getting off their makeup properly and not pH balancing their skin. All the cleansers that we sell at About Face are pH balanced. So you should not have to use a toner. We sell the Soothing Facial Toner by Revisions. I love that toner. If you want to use a toner, it's a nice one, just to calm the skin down, the redness and blotchiness. It helps with that a lot. But I don't particularly like toners. I think it's just an extra step that we don't necessarily have to use. If you do the happy birthday twice while you're thoroughly cleansing your skin, you should be able to get your makeup off with that. And so I don't use a toner. I've never really put one in the practice. And thank you, Mindy. It's good to see you on here. So I think that is all my questions here. Yep, looks like it. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go. It's nice to see you all. We're going to start working on maybe doing one next week. It seems like this is a great thing to do while we're quiet like this. It gives us all something to break up the week, right? I said to Sam something about Wednesday webinar, and he goes, is it Wednesday again? Because it feels like Saturday every day to me. It does right now, doesn't it? But we're all getting by. We're all going to be okay. Feeling like maybe we're going to peak soon and get out of this craziness. I hope everybody's staying healthy and well and not affected by this. I know some of the About Face families even been affected by this, and it's just hard to hear about this. But we're all going to come out of this and get some normalcy back real soon. So if I can help you in any way with your products or any other questions you have, just let me know and we'll schedule some time together. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Everybody take care. Have a great week.